estrogen receptors have a lot more opportunity to be compromised than
Yeah, you can call it
testosterone receptors, right?
exactly. They have a lot more opportunity to bind different partners. That's what they do. So when you put in these molecules that are kind of similar to estrogen, that are artificial, that are man-made, that our bodies have never seen, they're not nothing our ancestors have ever been exposed to. They're more than happy to stick to the estrogen receptor, block the testosterone receptor, uh, block the estrogen receptor. Sometimes they block it, sometimes they stick to it and hyperactivate it. It just causes all kinds of hormone. And then your body makes more estrogen to try and compensate from the blocking, or you make less testosterone because your body thinks you have estrogen around. It's a really complicated system. And they all act a little bit differently. And like I say, it's not just one molecule. Like these phthalates are a huge category of molecules. There's 50, 60, 70, and of course scientists have barely researched any of them. But the fact is, when they do finally research them, you find that they act like estrogen in a whole host of different ways, right?
Right.
And it's usually on the alpha receptor, the estrogen receptor alpha, which is the bad one. That's the one that causes the depression. It causes like postpartum depression. It causes the weight gain. It causes infertility. It causes a lot of issues, breast cancer. That's why breast cancer is up 250% since 1980.
What normally downregulates the alpha receptor then?
Normally, you're not even supposed to make alpha receptors when you're an adult. Estrogen. So there's two receptors, alpha and beta. Alpha is basically supposed to be involved in sexual differentiation in the womb. So when you're in the womb developing, that's when you're supposed to have alpha active, if you're going to have any for women. And then it's supposed to be shut off for most of the rest of your life. And the only estrogen receptor that's supposed to be activated is beta, the estrogen receptor beta, which, by the way, beta is protective against breast cancer. It's protective against prostate cancer. It's actually beneficial for you to have beta activation for your estrogen receptor beta. And the problem is with all these estrogen chemicals, we're activating the alpha receptor. And this is the discussion with soy, by the way, too. Soy gets into this argument about beta and alpha because a lot of people try and argue that it activates the beta receptor, these vegans. But if you look at the data, it's a 50-50. It activates both receptors. And so some people respond okay with soy, and then other people, it's like a massive estrogen surge. And so, that's a good example of an actual real life argument that scientists have relating to these estrogen receptor differences.
So if you turn on the alpha receptors that are theoretically in adults rather dormant, then you're going to see a whole bunch of unexpected pathology, essentially, as a result of that. The theory is that the estrogen mimicking chemicals in the environment turn on the alpha receptors, and in interesting and unexpected ways.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it's just a switch, you just flip it on. Sometimes it's interesting and unexpected.
Right. So, well, that's interesting. And these things are present in the environment. What do you think the primary source of these things is? Is it consumer related plastic items that we are exposed to, or is it something else?
Yeah, it's personal care products and drinking water. Those are the two big hitters. I mean, it's everywhere. It's in the air quality. It's all over the place. Like these masks, there was a study recently where they showed like 90% of people have microplastics in their lungs now because everybody's wearing these stupid masks and breathing.
Good.